Students, at the end of today's class, you will be able to learn technological and institutional reforms made by the government in India and also sustainable agriculture to make the land sustained. Students, we shall learn about why are the technological and institutional reforms required in our country and what are the secrets behind this, or else what are the facts which are behind this technological and institutional reforms. Let us see. Agriculture has been practiced in our India for thousands of years. Basically, India is a agriculture based country. Our primary activity is agriculture. So, sustained use of land without compatible techno-institutional changes have hindered the pace, it means speed of agricultural development. So, we need to use the land in a sustainable manner by using technological and institutional changes. Then, in spite of development of resources of irrigation, most of the farmers in larger parts of the country still depend on monsoons and natural fertility in order to carry on their agriculture. Fourth, for a growing population, this poses a serious challenge. If still people going on the old primitive methods depending on the monsoons and natural fertility, then we have to face a serious challenge for the growing population. We cannot meet the growing needs of the population. Fifth, agriculture, which provides livelihood for more than 60% of its population needs some serious technical and institutional reforms. That's why our government has taken some technological and institutional reforms in our country. Now we shall learn about the list of institutions set up by the government to modernize and improve Indian agriculture. In this list, first comes ICAR, it means Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Second, agricultural universities. Third, veterinary services where the pets or the animals are treated. Fourth, animal breeding centers. Fifth, horticulture development. When I say horticulture, it belongs to the growth of fruits and vegetables. Next, research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecasting. This weather forecasting and meteorology is most important in the field of agriculture because it helps the farmers a lot at the time of sowing and harvesting. And the last but not least is improve rural infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, banking, it means the farmer needs cheap loans to cultivate their farm. Next, good transport also to ship their goods to the market. Even markets also comes under infrastructure. Then communication. Then electricity. So all this comes under infrastructure. So the government wants to improve the rural infrastructure also. Now we shall learn about what initiatives are taken by the government to ensure the increase in agricultural production. The government has taken a lot of measures, children, a number of measures. In those, especially two things it has been taken. One is technological reforms and second one institutional setup. In this technological reforms, the most important thing is introduction of modern inputs. So what things comes under modern inputs? Yes, here comes first, provide irrigational facilities through canals or through drip irrigation or sprinkling irrigation. Different kinds of modern irrigation facilities it's providing. Second, use of HYV seeds. It means high yielding variety seeds. By the use of this HYV seeds, the farmer gets the crop much earlier than traditional method. So the maturity of the crop is much earlier and the farmer gets lot of production when compared to traditional ones. Next, use of fertilizers. Here the farmer uses chemical fertilizers. Third one, pesticides. Pesticides also the farmer uses in order to prevent the pests. And the last one, machines. Farmer uses tractors, tillers, harvesters and threshers in the field. So these are the introduction of modern inputs in the agricultural production to increase the agricultural production. Now let us discuss about the second measure that is taken by the government to increase the agricultural production. That is institutional reforms. In this, the first one, consolidation of land holdings. If the farmer having a small amount of land of a share, then the farmers who are having the same small holdings beside him will collectively they come together with a mutual understanding and grow the crop. So they share the production also collectively based on the amount of land they hold. And the second one is abolition of zamindari system. When I say zamindari system, this zamindari system was introduced by Lord Cornwallis in 1793 through Permanent Settlement Act. So it was first introduced in the provinces of Bengal, Bihar, Orissa and Varanasi. That's why it is also known as Permanent Settlement System. In this system, zamindars were recognized as owner of the lands. They were given the rights to collect the rent from the peasants. So the peasants, they used to give the rent for the rent to the zamindars. That rent is divided into 11 parts. And one part in this 11 parts is given to the zamindar and the remaining 10 parts was given to the East India Company. Though it is one part also, a huge amount the zamindar used to hold. So this is called zamindari system. The third initiative in the institutional reform is widespread use of radio and television. Special weather bulletins and agricultural programs for farmers were introduced on the radio and television. Crop insurance. There is a provision for crop insurance against drought, flood, cyclone, fire, disease, etc. Next, rural banking and cooperative societies. Provision, establishment of Gramina banks, cooperative societies and banks for providing loan facilities to farmers at lower rates of interest. Last is minimum support price. The government also announces minimum support price, remunerative and procurement prices for the important crops to check the exploitation of farmers by speculators and middlemen. As you all know that minimum support price is a price which is announced by the government before the farmer raises his crop. Now we shall learn about how can we bring about sustainable agriculture. In this, the first one, decrease the use of inorganic fertilizer and increase the use of organic manures. So inorganic fertilizers in a sense chemical fertilizers. So we should decrease the use of chemical fertilizers and increase the use of organic manures. Second, use drip and sprinkler irrigation to avoid excessive irrigation. So if you use drip irrigation or sprinkle irrigation, you can avoid the excessive use of irrigation and the water is used wisely. The third, make use of traditional seeds instead of hybrid seeds because they are useful in particular season, climatic and soil conditions. All the HYV seeds are not suitable for all kinds of climate and soil conditions. So we try to use traditional seeds instead of HYV seeds. The last one but not least is use crop rotation, which we have learnt earlier. The leguminous crops, it means the pulses we have to use as crop rotation. That's why we need to diversify the cropping pattern. So one crop, it reduces the soil fertility, the other crop will enhances or provides or increases the fertility of the soil. So that is called crop rotation, and it also leads to diversification of cropping pattern. So this will increase incomes and reduce environmental degradation simultaneously. With this, I conclude this chapter, children. Thank you.